I lied to you. William Hovey Smith, 2024.
This is Hovey Smith, a backyard sportsman. And guys, I lied to you. I really did. Just yesterday, I told you you weren't going to see the stand again until I was up a tree with it. Well, I followed the Billy Joe Rubidoux principle, and I found myself using it. That is, taking what you got and making what you need. Because when I sanded it down, I found I did not have a paintbrush in the house. Well, I had this paintbrush in the house. It would take a very long time to paint this seat here with this little paintbrush. Well, I don't know if you have noticed, but at the hardware stores these days, there are little paintbrushes with foam on them. Like the same stuff you use to wash your dishes. Well, I didn't want to take time to a half hour to go to town and back, spend, say, $6 worth of gas to buy a $1 paintbrush. And so I wound up using a foam sanding block for my paintbrush. So we had our spar varnish here, left over from 2 years ago about, and we're using it to paint with. Is it pretty? No. Does it work? Yes. And the deer will never know the difference. And let me show you. This strange looking object is a bent coat hanger, which I use as a whisk to mix the paint. It had started to set up a little bit, as paint will do in a couple of years. And I didn't have an official Benjamin Moore mixing stick, which they would want you to buy, by the way. And so I had an old rusty coat hanger. So I bent it over, made a sort of a handle on this end. And now you can go whisk, 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 whisk. And it mixed the paint very well. The second problem was I have several sanding blocks. And so I sort of sacrificed a little bit of one to use as a paintbrush. It has foam exposed on this end, so you just dip it in your paint and you go whoosh whoosh with it. The little detailed stuff, like these edges, is best done with a small brush. It'll let you get in where you can't get that bigger sponge. Like right here, for example. I'm no artist and certainly not a professional painter. But I can dab a little paint on a piece of wood when I need to. Support this channel by buying my outdoor books, business books, novels, and recommending them to your local libraries. Over the years, I've done a variety of outdoor and business books. And my most recent creation is actually the screenplay, The Buzzard Squadron. And I am in the midst of a quandary. There are two things I can do right now. I can go ahead and write the novel using my screenplay as a basis, enlarge it, and flesh out a 200 or 300 page novel. And that's the reason I originally wrote the screenplay, was to give a vehicle for doing that. However, one of my most popular titles, Make Your Own Job Anytime, Anywhere, at Any Age, is now becoming increasingly unavailable and will become unavailable altogether. It's time to replace it and also expand it to include the significance of AI in the modern world. Well, which to do first? What do you think? If you have a strong preference for one or the other, let me know. I would appreciate it. And now to illustrate our sand block foam painting. In these places I'm not able to get with a sponge, I can catch with a brush. Using our improvised methods, we have our stand here painted and ready to dry for 2 days before I take it out and put it up a tree. Now, about that comment about Benjamin Moore, I don't really know if they charge for their stir stick these days, but I would not be a bit surprised, since once things that were delivered for free are now pricey. Yeah, you go and you buy a John Deere tractor for tens of thousands of dollars, and they'll give you the honor of buying one of their caps. Yeah, and such other things. So I would not be surprised if Benjamin Moore would not start charging for their stir sticks. And if they haven't already, it's probably only because they haven't thought of it yet. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.